for joining us today on Playing the Field. I'm Maria Serrao at one of my favorite places on the planet, the Long Beach Grand Prix. We've got so much to talk about in LA sports, including baseball, football, and of course, auto racing right here in Long Beach. So get your popcorn ready. We're going to have a lot to talk about, and we'll be right back.
When you're driving and you need to use your phone, pull over, RPV. When drivers are distracted, driving can be dangerous.
In 1 second, your whole life can change. Make the choice that will save your life and the life of someone else.
If you need to make a call or send a text, pull over to a safe spot. You'll be glad you did.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Alameda Sheriff Station and RPV TV.
There's no doubt the Long Beach Grand Prix is one of the most exciting venues in auto racing. Just ask any of the drivers. And that's exactly what we did today at a place called the Bullpen, but not the same one Shohei Ohtani practices in. Graham, you got on the second row twice to start the races. Podium in Alabama. What is going on over there at Rahal Letterman Lanigan this year?
I mean, it's getting better. We still have work to do. There's no doubt. But yeah, I mean, starting at two second row starts is pretty good, for us to kick off. And obviously, the podium at Barber meant a lot to the team, and I hope that positivity will carry us through here a little bit. And this is a big weekend for us at Long Beach. You know that. From a historical perspective, it's big. But we've got to put the pieces of the puzzle together on the street courses this year. That's, if you look at the two that we haven't done well at, it's been those two. And so, I just think, there's a lot of good things happen. There's been a lot of work put in, and we got to keep that rolling. And it doesn't really stop. One good result doesn't mean that we're off here. It's pedal to the metal to try to catch up to Ganassi, Andretti, Penske, all the good teams, and we've been close a lot. So put our heads down and we'll do it.
You've had some changes though in personnel over there. How long does it take everybody to gel together?
We have change every year, I mean, look, we all come into every year and say, we made some changes. But every team's made changes. I mean, that's just the reality. I've never gone into a season with all of the same people. In fact, maybe this is the closest year I've had to that. Like on the mechanic side, we've had a couple little shifts. But engineering corps, Kylie stepped up to be, our DAG. But we've got, Timmy and Eve, my main two, are still my main two. Strategically running our stand is Barnhart now, that's been a massive change. That's been awesome. But other than that, I think at the back at the shop, we've got some things to do. We've got some additions that have been phenomenal. We need to add some more. But that's racing. That's every year is constant battle.
We know qualifying is it's so close. What do you think has been the difference there for you?
Well, it's a lot better when you're confident. It's a lot better when you go into qualifying knowing I don't have to drive like an idiot. I got to just do my job and not throw a hope and a prayer. You can put it together, and if you do that, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to advance. And for me, I feel like once I advance out of one round, there's a pretty good likelihood or chance I'll advance out of the second round, just because as a driver, once I get my routine sort of going and into a rhythm, I feel like that's where my strength is, which is why I think I'm really good on race days, is that, when you've got to go do something 90 times to get into that rhythm, and my ability to be consistent like that is my strength. And in qualifying, when you get through round one, you go to round two, you go to round two, go to round three, you kind of are able to build up that consistency, which is phenomenal. So, yeah, I mean, overall for me, I'm pretty, hopefully we can qualify well this weekend. Hopefully we can put a good race together. Last year we didn't advance out of round one, but we were 600, so it was nothing. And so hopefully this year we can be a hair better.
When you talk about confidence in you, confidence in the team, where does that sort of...
Yeah, I mean, confidence in the car, I think mainly. I'm confident in the team. I know the quality of people we've got. We got some great people, and I'm confident myself. I think it proved that last weekend. It's not like I've forgotten how to do this or I don't have the speed. And so, I'm confident in that regard, and we just got to go and put that together here.
What about your group of drivers this year? What's it been like working with them?
I mean, it's great. Honestly, like Louis is a class clown, but he's obviously fast, so he's a great dude to work with. And I've really enjoyed Mick a lot. You know, I mean, just a total pro, a great teammate, great human being, great family. You know, asset to the sport, and you know, hopefully we can help Mick have a great result this weekend.
We all learn from each other, that's for sure. Graham, thank you for spending a few minutes. We appreciate it, and we'll see you out there this weekend, and hopefully another podium here in Long Beach.
It's always great to see you. Thank you.
So, your first time here with Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan. What's it been like working with the guys on the team this year?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, they're really like that family business type environment, and I really enjoy that. It's been great working so far with them, and I'm very excited for the rest of the season.
What's the beginning of this season has been very good for this team, obviously. We're seeing some podiums and some up front driving. What's it been like for you getting to know them and then working with this great team?
You know, I'm still like embedding myself into this championship, into this team and everything, but it's been so good to have that reception and have Graham help me in so many ways. And obviously we're so proud of him to have such a good weekend in Barber.
He's like the OG of this team, you know.
Oh, totally. So, no, we're really happy to have him, and I'm happy to have him as a teammate.
Yes. And so, have you driven here Long Beach before?
I have not.
Oh, this is so exciting. Have you been on the track yet? Just walked the track, I know, yesterday, right?
Yes, that's right. We did a couple laps on the track yesterday, and it's an exciting one. It's a short one, so it means hopefully lots of laps for us.
Yeah. And then you'll be practicing this afternoon, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Wow. Okay, and so do you prefer street courses, road courses, permanent tracks, ovals? What is your love?
Sitting in a race car. You know, I don't really care where we go. As long as the race car is fast and I'm fast, I think we're good.
Everybody talks about Long Beach as being pretty much the second largest race next to Indianapolis because of all the fans. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's a fun place. It's my first time out here in LA, so excited to see how this weekend will pan out.
What's been your opinion so far of just being here and being in these surroundings?
Yeah, it's been very, very good. People have been super nice and super, you know, even though I'm a foreigner, it's great to get that, you know, acceptance from many people and see how they root for me as well. So I'm really happy about that.
What is the biggest difference between being in an Indy Car now versus where you came up from?
Well, you know, in F1, it's just it's a different environment. It's a different type of racing, different style of racing. I feel like probably the best way I could explain it is it's a lot more raw out here, a lot more old school.
In what way?
Well, for one, the car, but also the way people work out here. You know, I think back in Europe, things are very data driven, and data like rules above everything. Whereas here, I feel like people come back to like, you know, looking at what the driver does once, and then kind of tries to also put aside the data at times and just say, okay, well, let's do what you think is right.
So this is kind of almost more of a feel kind of a thing versus all data.
Correct, yeah.
Welcome back to the Long Beach Grand Prix, Santino. How does this race change from year to year for you?
No, I think this is one of the few events that stayed true to itself throughout all the seasons I've done. And, you know, when I started coming here in 2019, it's just such a unique place. I think even running with IMSA, it's just really cool. I mean, this is, in my opinion, the biggest race on the calendar other than Indy.
It's so interesting you say that because we hear that a lot, that Long Beach is definitely the second. Is it because there's so many more fans here as well?
I think that's part of it. I mean, this race is also just so established. It's probably one of the longest running races in our sport. I mean, even if you go back to when F1 was here. So I wish I could run that old track, though. We always watch the old videos on YouTube from time to time because, I mean, they catch air coming down some of the hills. It's so cool. But I just think, you know, the historic, you know, value of motorsports here has got a big impact.
Give us a little recap of the beginning of your season thus far.
Yeah, I think it's gone actually pretty good. Obviously, a couple of small hiccups here and there. St. Pete's kind of out of your control. Phoenix, you know, there's a group strategy call not to take new tires at the end, which pulls us out of the top 10, but that's how it goes sometimes. Arlington was kind of on me, but we were quick. We really good qualifying. And then Barber just went about as good as it can get for us. You know, we didn't quite have the pace to get into the top 5, but, you know, to end up 8th and, you know, be battling up front all day was definitely a good thing.
How much fun was it to be back in Phoenix?
It was awesome. I mean, I've never been there in an Indy car. I've only been there in a stock car. So
It's quite different.
yeah, I mean you're shifting sometimes in the stock car depending, but for the most part it's like a 50-mile-an-hour lap difference almost, which is insane.
You know, since Fox has taken over for IndyCar, obviously, you know, there's so many more people watching, but social media has been so huge for IndyCar. Do you find that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's something that I've been trying to get better at. Social media is really not my thing.
It's like a whole other job to do, you know?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to it. You know, I'm barely on Twitter. I like my Instagram because I like to scroll through the dog memes and the golf memes. Kind of depends on what's going on in the world. Like, obviously with Artemis, I get to see all of that. Then there's the Masters, so I'm always up on all the golf. So it's been quite fun. And then I have my dogs at home, so me and my wife are always sending dog videos back and forth to each other.
I love that. If you were not an IndyCar driver, what would you be doing?
Be a lawyer. Yeah, so I was going to go to school to become a lawyer, and I got lucky with sponsorship. So, yeah.
We're going to keep you in IndyCar for a while, Sandy.
I'm much happier here.
And when we come back, it's all about the jewelry with the back-to-back champion, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Distracted driving and distracted walking causes over 7,000 deaths a year and over 500,000 injuries. Don't let one bad decision change your life. Heads up, RPV. Make a better choice. Keep your eyes on the road and on the street. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Lomita Sheriff Station and RPV TV.
Well, opening weekend of baseball is always fun, but when you're back-to-back World Series champions, just a little bit more exciting. So after the first game, I sat down with Mookie, Teo, and just a few of his friends to find out all about the bling. What was it like getting that ring tonight, and just describe being with your teammates and getting that ring?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, just the accomplishment we did. It's super special, and getting to do it with the boys. Just knowing what we went through, how long of a grind it is to come out on top. It's just super special.
When you're all standing there together in the back, we watched you all look at the rings. What was the conversations like?
Just how cool it is, you know. Some guys first time getting rings, and then for some of us, you know, we have a couple of them, and getting to see the differences and whatnot. But the main thing is just the admiration.
It's great. I haven't really looked at it and see the details and everything that the ring has, but I'm gonna get to enjoy it tonight when I get back to the house.
Are you a ring wearer, or do you just look at it and then put it away?
Yeah, I don't like to wear a lot of jewelry.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it in a safe place. Enjoy watching it.
How much do you care about the details of it? So is that something you like think about it at all, or is it sort of like you sort of look at it, admire it, put it away?
I mean, it's nice to see everything that the ring has. Last year was incredible, and everybody's saying that this year is even better. So I'm gonna take my time and see everything.
It's ring night. What do you remember about ring night?
Well, ring night back in the 80s, so 89 opening day, Bill White, the National League president, is here. They have all the trophies displayed. They have all the ring boxes out. I think they even had the Cy Young and maybe the World Series MVP still around just for photographs. But the Dodgers now, they kind of spread it out. So it was a huge night for us. And it was great that even last night, the team, to get through the distraction of the first ceremony and the banner raising and the owners being out there pulling it up, and, you know, the comedic up on, you know, the comedian up on the screen. I think that them to win that game with all that distraction, they're going to have to hit that hurdle again here tonight, because they are going to have some huge smiles when they open those boxes.
You heard what Dave said, that Dave doesn't really wear it, look at it,
right,
things like that. Did you wear yours when you first got it, or?
I did, because you know, with the MVP kind of stuff, you're doing commercials, people want to see it. I wore it for the fans, and then it ended up in the safe, and then it came out again when I was broadcasting. And now that these hood ornaments are so much bigger, the 88 ring is half this size. You know, Ohtani's contract is 100 times more than when I was the highest paid player in the game. So the rings have gotten bigger and the contracts have gotten bigger, but as far as fun, it's so much fun. You cannot put a price on the experience of what they're going to go through tonight. There's always a story behind every ring. So in '88, it was number of diamonds around were the number of division titles.
Oh, wow.
And there's always a story, like in this ring, they have the scores inside of what went on in the World Series. And I'm sure every one of these diamonds means something as far as what's going on. And so every ring, they probably could take it and take pictures of every side and write an editorial of what's going on it.
And moving down the 5 freeway a little bit, we caught up with the Los Angeles Angels for their home opener. Now, Mike Trout has been on fire. Jose Soriano, 4-0. They've got a new manager and some new players. I sat down with one of them, so it's time for you to meet Josh Lowe. We are here today with Josh Lowe from Los Angeles Angels. First of all, welcome. What's it been like to be an Angel?
It's been great. Hard to beat this weather. Great guys in the team, great staff, clubhouse staff, top to bottom. It's a lot of good people, and it's just been easy transitioning here, and off to a pretty decent start.
Very nice. It's interesting because you are from Georgia, growing up there. Your brother also plays Major League Baseball. How did you both sort of end up in the majors?
Well, I think growing up, my brother and I played every sport that we could, and so that kind of just allowed for our athleticism to develop naturally. And then it kind of got to a point where I'd say for both of us, probably in high school, where we realized baseball was our best sport. So we just kind of stuck with that primarily, just kept playing. And, you know, with some good fortune and some grace from the Lord, here we are playing baseball.
How competitive were you with each other?
Extremely. I mean, our parents had to pull us apart playing a bunch of different things. Dad was always taking my side because, you know, my brother was bigger than me growing up, so did a good job protecting me from him, but we played everything together, so we were extremely competitive.
What's it like when I know you played on the same team and now you've played against each other, so take the first one first. What's it like to play on the same team as your brother when you did it?
That was cool. We only did that in the minor leagues, but still, it's something that, you know, you don't take for granted. Not many people, you know, have a sibling that plays in a professional sport, but let alone to do it on the same team. It was awesome. You know, we never got the chance to do it in the major leagues. Who knows what'll happen in the future? But yeah, it was fun. And then playing against each other, you know, it's like I said, it's a blessing to look out there and see someone with, you know, the same last name that's your family. And being my brother, it's a blessing.
Are you guys the kind where you talk about how your game is going in between games, or how does it work?
Not always. You know, he's pretty busy now with his wife and newborn son, Barrett. So it's one of those things where, you know, there could be times where we talk about baseball every day, every other day, and there could be times where, you know, we don't talk for a little while, but just pick right back up where we left off.
You talked about playing other sports. What other sports did you play before baseball, or the same time as?
Everything. I mean, in high school, my parents didn't let me play basketball because they said, you know, you're not going to focus on your grades if you play 3 sports.
Yeah.
So it was basketball, football, baseball, and then before all that, you know, I just played soccer. Anything that I could throw or pick up, kick, it didn't matter. I was playing it in the yard.
What position were you playing in football?
I was a better wide receiver than I was quarterback. Playing quarterback, I could throw the ball really well, but didn't necessarily mean that I could throw it to the right team all the time. And then they were like, you know, you're pretty fast and tall and have really good hands, so go out there, run on the field, and catch the ball. So wide receiver worked out a little better for me, but then I just stuck to baseball.
Are you still a football fan?
I do like football. You know, I feel like for some reason for me, since COVID, college football has just kind of gone away for me, but I tend to cheer for whoever's on my fantasy team.
Of course,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get you out to SoFi this year so you can watch either the Chargers or the Rams play.
That'd be awesome. That would be really cool.
It is fun. It's always fun to go to different stadiums. What's been your experience? Do you have favorite stadiums you like to play in?
I do. I think everybody kind of has a favorite. For me, I'm partial to Fenway because I debuted there.
Yeah.
The history behind it, you know, just the environment whenever you play there. Yankee Stadium's up there. It was awesome. I did always like coming here as a visitor, so that's pretty cool that I play for this team now, and I think it's a great park. Playing surface is second to none. I don't think you can find a surface in all of baseball that's better than this one. But at the end of the day, we're blessed to go out there and play this game, and there's not one field that's not really cool.
That's very true. And of course, like you said, the weather, it's not too terrible here.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And now for the Los Angeles Rams, they addressed one of their biggest needs at corner by grabbing Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson from the Kansas City Chiefs. And we had a chance to talk to both of them about what it means to them to come to the Rams.
A big thing for me was I wanted to go to a team that were contenders. Like, let's just be honest, this team has been knocking on the door year in, year out, especially since I've been in the league, and I could tell that this culture was something special. Talking to a lot of guys that have either been on this team or have been here and on another team have just told me that the love, support, and just the overall atmosphere of being a Ram was top notch, like best in the league. And that was something that I was really excited to be a part of, and something when the opportunity came, my agent even said this was a possibility. I was like, yeah, like let's definitely do that. And for me, looking at the back end, especially being with my boy Jay Watt, like coming in here, the past 4 years, we've really learned what it takes to win a Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl, the preparation, the time it takes to be detailed into your craft. And for me, I'm really just coming in here. I don't really want to change the culture, the atmosphere. I want to just build upon it. And that's hard work, that's consistency, that's dedication, and really that's just about being a human being, I always say. I think it's more important about being a human being than being a football player, because we're all human. So bringing some energy, bringing some positivity around the building, and just being one of those guys that hopefully down the road, guys just come in and just talk to me about whatever. That's really what I wanted to do on the Chiefs, and luckily I built that with a lot of those guys in those relationships. So I'm excited, and I know these guys are ready to work, and I'm ready to work too.
What's it like to come here with a teammate, former teammate and friend?
That's the best feeling ever. You don't come in feeling like you don't know anyone. And it's not only just any teammate, it's one of my closest teammates from my previous team. So I was super excited, super happy to share the field with them, and hopefully we can do some great things here.
What about making the move from a Super Bowl team to another Super Bowl franchise, basically?
Just thank God I got put in a great position. Very thankful for the Rams believing in me, taking a chance on me. And you can start a Super Bowl contender, but it's what you start in OTAs and prove week in and week out. And you have to get there. Doesn't matter what's on paper. You got to do what you got to do. Take care of what's in front of you, one game at a time, and hopefully, when it's all said and done, we can get there.
You had been in California before having played at Ventura College. What's it like to be able to come back to this area and play as a pro?
It's a blessing. I had all my JUCO friends hit me up that's still out here. Pretty familiar with Cali. Love the weather. Everyone's just so nice here. Then you got your taxes.
For the Los Angeles Chargers, they filled an important position of their offensive coordinator by going out and getting one of the best in the league in Mike McDaniels. He was the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. But if you ask any coach in the league, they will tell you that McDaniels is an offensive genius. And I have a feeling that Coach Jim Harbaugh is counting on that. Here's more.
I think that was, the measure of a coach, as I see it, is being able to adapt to your skill sets and lean into them. So, I think I've always appreciated speed. It's not the end-all, be-all. I think it's your best served is speed is probably your second best attribute to something else. There's a lot of track guys, not a lot of fast football players. I think when you have the opportunity to get one of those guys, you jump on it. But I think there's a lot of different ways to really threaten the defense, to expand the amount of space that they have to cover. And I've seen a lot of guys that aren't AccuTrack 4-1 or 10-1, 100 guys that can play as fast as those guys on the football field. So speed is important. I think the most important thing is to play fast. Some of my favorite players that I've ever had have been 4'6", 4'7" guys that play with their hair on fire. speed is important, but it's not the end all. And I think you adapt to what your skills are, and try to get the best football players. Hopefully, some of your football players have speed. I think that it's being able, on the front end, I thought it was so valuable. Lessons learned from Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan on how to adapt to personnel. But as I've gotten through my career, it's also a great new cutting edge way to stay in front of schematic evolution, because you're solving different problems. So I think, for instance, jet motion in Miami for receivers was supremely important, because our best players happen to be these smaller 4-2 guys, and if defenses rerouted us, that was going to be the answer to the test. So we come up with jet motion route trees. I think solving different problems affords you different sorts of solutions that ultimately our Chargers offense will look different than any offense that I've coached before, or any offense in the league. And I think that's important when you're trying to find competitive advantages in a league and a division with a lot of parity.
And finally, there is one number in baseball that none of the current players or future players will ever wear. That number is 42, honoring the great Jackie Robinson. But for one day every year, all of the players have a chance to wear it. That's on Jackie Robinson Day. Here are a few sights and sounds from the Dodgers honoring the legend.
Yeah.
Tomorrow might not be promised, and that's how he played every single day. That's why he's got a statue at Dodger Stadium. And he impacted not only baseball, football, vision on what equality, unity would look like. My ask is, understanding where we're at today, but my ask is that we remember how we got here. And I think that's the main thing. And it's one thing to appreciate where we're at, the fruits of all that we have. We're all the beneficiaries of what Jackie did and sacrificed. And so I say that in going out there tonight and play with that enthusiasm that Jackie wanted and played for every single day. And the thing is that nothing that we do, and this isn't talking to Rachel, talking to Sharon, talking to Don Newcomb, his roommate, the late Don Newcomb, in the sense that Jackie loved baseball so much, and we love things so much, but are we willing to take on hate from your coworkers, your teammates, your coaches, opponents, people that work for you, people that are rooting against you, and still go out there and play and do something you love to do? And he was willing to pay that price.
And that will do it for today's show. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, you can watch Playing the Field anytime you want at playingthefieldtv.com. I'm Maria Serrao, and get ready because the NFL draft is coming, and I'll be in Pittsburgh for all the action. We'll see you then.
Yeah.